Okay, hi, I'm making a video for my wife who's an art teacher for elementary kids, and during virtual education because of COVID and all of that, she needs her kids to be able to turn in their drawings and their paintings to her through the computer and train them. And they're mostly using Chromebooks, so this is what I'm going to recommend that you do. If you're using Google Classroom, and you're a Google district, this is a good method for you to kind of collect all of your art assignments for a particular project. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to want to come into your Google Drive and make a. Now you could do a Google Doc, you could do a Google Slide. I'm going to use Google Drawings just because it's just a this is a feature. You'd have to click on more where I am here. Click on Google Drawings. And this blank template right here is going to become your project. Let's call it like flower drawing, right? Flower drawing. Maybe you have your kids doing a drawing of flowers, and so you want the kids to upload to a document like this, but you want them all collected nice and neat for you so that you don't have to look around for them. So now in your Google Classroom, let me go to my Google Classroom, and I'm going to open up a Google Classroom that I used for paraprofessionals when I was training them. And I'm going to go into classwork, and I'm going to create a new assignment. So I click assignment, I make a new assignment, and it's the flower drawing. And I'm going to call it like the turn in maybe, or whatever you want to call it, right? You can add stuff. Now you need to add that blank document that we just created. Since we just did it, it should be right there under recent, which it is. There's the flower drawing, and I'm going to insert it. But I'm going to pause here for a second to point this out. This is like one of those magic moments where you got to make sure you do this part right. You don't want the students to view this one file. You want each student to have a blank one for themselves with their name on it, which will happen automatically if you do this. Make a copy for each student. That's very important because now when you collect these, when you come back here, each kid is going to have one, and it's already going to have their name on it pulled from Google Classroom. So it's perfect. And then you're going to assign it. Okay, so now each kid's going to get a copy of that. Then that for you, that's going to all be organized now. There's going to be a Google folder in your Google Drive with each kid's name on it. With the folder is going to have each kid's document. And now the only thing you'll need to do is train your kids how to do the following. You're going to have to train them how to come into the project, which if they're using Google Classroom with their core teachers, they're probably doing a lot of this already. So they come into your assignment and they need to open up their own version of it. They'll have their own version. Now I had 15 paraprofessionals, so they're actually in here now. So if I view the assignment, you'll see that there's names attached to them already, and I can come in and see their drawings if they uploaded them. Now, here's what the kids are going to have to do on their end. So now each one of them has assigned to them in Google Classroom a blank flower drawing like this. And what they're going to need to do is and this is the part you're going to have to teach them, they need to open theirs. So now let's say they did their flower drawing on paper and they're ready to hold it up to their Chromebook or computer or whatever. So they're going to open this, and they have their flower drawing in their hand. I have a little color wheel thing that my wife is working on, so I'll use that as the example. So they need to click on, and it's not that hard, they need to click on Insert, Image, and Camera. And then they're going to hold up whatever their thing is, and you can make it part of the lesson to teach them how to do this, and kind of neatly as they can, and frame it correctly. And then they press the little camera capture button, and then they press insert. Now this part you can teach them to do. They can stretch it, or you can just do that. You can just tell them that's it, they're done. If they stretch it wrong, like if they try to stretch it like this, it's going to look out of whack. So I always hit undo. If they have to stretch it from a corner, or you could just be the one that stretches it. Either way. But now, once a kid does what I just did here, you as the teacher will see this live right over in your Google Classroom. Okay, these I can't do it for these people because these are actual people with their own accounts. So without calling them up and telling them to do this right now, I can't do it as an example. But that's all you have to do. Now you will have all of these things right here, and you can come to them in Google Classroom and see them right here and click on them and see the kids' uploads once they've done that. You will also have a folder to this in your Google Drive, so you'll have them all collected in a folder as well. So it's very organized. When it's time for you to grade, you just jump in and check them all out. So I hope that helps art teachers who are trying to get their kids to photograph and turn in their artwork. If you're a Google district using Google Classroom, shouldn't be too hard. Give it a try. That's the end of this video.